These fish went on thousands of miles of journeys and somehow came back here. It's kind of mind-blowing. You know, I think if you're a romantic, you know, you can't help but look at a steelhead and wonder where it was in the ocean. The great runs of fish that filled all these rivers, that was nature's conveyor belt to bring all the nutrients from the ocean 1,000 miles inland, deep in the mountains. It's really one of the great miracles. I really like coming to beautiful places and having time to hang out with my friends.
We're gonna get them.
This is a really good example of somewhere which is still pristine. Everything's still very healthy here. We're unlogged and there's no roads. We have 2 to 3 dozen grizzlies and about a dozen black bears, moose, wolverines, fishers, and there's fish in the river just doing what they've done for thousands of years. And we don't want to impact that. We basically consider ourselves caretakers of the land.
I was born obsessed with fish. Fresh steelhead from the ocean are just these unbelievable luminescent creatures. I mean, you look at them and you know, I sound like a lunatic talking about it.
But steelhead are mysterious. Even when they're in the rivers, they're in the deep, dark places. They're in the riffles where I can't see them. And I love that. I love thinking, is he really down there? Is she really down there? Is that fish there? And then swinging the fly through there, it's just like you're prospecting.
I mean, this is a trout that lives in the ocean, for God's sakes. It's a badass fish. Does it look like I know what I'm doing? Because I really don't. We're not going to put that in the movie, are we? I've only fished for steelhead a few times. You know, there's like this myth, this legend about these fish that you grow up with. And they're this amazing creature.
No, I gotta use my own flies.
Oh, that's the rule. Okay.
I love tying steelhead flies. I love tying spay flies. Being able to tie these beautiful creations that I can actually catch a decent sized fish on is really exciting.
What I feel is important is to understand the value of these intact watersheds, that it's one of the few places where you have the pure genetics and the pure habitat, that the fish can survive and repopulate from that place to the warming, changing planet.
That's the cast.
Come on.
Please eat it.
When you go to exotic places like this that you've dreamed about all your life, you always have really high expectations. And the fish just aren't here right now.
When you talk about temperatures rising, it had never occurred to me that there was anything to worry about. I mean, I read stuff and I heard things, but I always thought that was somebody else's deal. And then my home river, the Skykomish, was closed down because of low return numbers of wild steelhead. And I think it was the real wake-up call that I had to start thinking about that there's something beyond just going out to catch fish.
So these fish are always moving. They could go up 10 miles and drop down 3, we don't know. And it's the mystery of steelhead fishing, trying to find the fish, trying to be there when the runs come through.
It doesn't feel really fishy for some reason. It did the other day.
I thought, but you know, the expectations, I mean, I thought we were going to be like catching half a dozen a day. So did everybody else.
Oh, I just saw a fish.
Like the little clock's ticking.
We're gonna get a fish.
No.
I don't see anything.
And there's this amazing exchange of new fish.
Fish your spot,
Spot
top
again.
to bottom.
I'll go fish the bottom spot and Dylan, you fish up here.
The bottom's not
Looks
horrible.
like bullshit.
I know.
I hope we get fish.
Great catch for the fish.
God, that was a fish.
Why did you set like that? Who f***ing sets the hook like that?
'Cause I was-
Who sets the f***ing hook like that? You trout set it.
Come on, Steelhead.
I hate steelhead fishing. This sucks.
There's a fish. Woo! Wow.
You know, I had all these expectations of trying all these different fly patterns, and once I caught a few fish, you know, I was gonna experiment with other new fly patterns, but
Yep. Wow, that's a nice fish.
What a beautiful fish. Look at the spots.
I'm gonna admit defeat. Once again. I can't think of another fish that is potentially more susceptible to climate change. You got the warming of the headwaters. You have the change in ocean currents.
And because of interaction with the increased carbon in the atmosphere that we've created, mostly from burning fossil fuels, the pH of the ocean is changing to a more acidic state.
And that's bad for salmon and steelhead. It's bad for the base of the food chain. It's bad for pretty much anything except jellyfish.
The acidification problem is reducing the nearshore feed for the fish when they come out of the rivers. So I think that is pretty serious where salmon and steelhead are concerned. It really is a responsibility that we have to try and make it possible that our kids and their kids will have some of the opportunities we've had. You know, I don't want my kids to think that I was the last generation that let it slip away. So I got to do something.
I don't know, I don't fucking like steelhead fishing. It's really frustrating and boring.
Steelhead! Steelhead! Yeah, baby! Steelhead! Yeah!
It feels good, it feels solid, and it raises your spirits.
Yeah!
Politicians, if they're not pushing for lessening our carbon footprint, they're doing it because their constituents aren't screaming and yelling at them to do it. We are the problem.
The science on climate change is really clear, and anglers have to get involved. The clock is ticking on this one.
It's really critical for people, especially those of us if we're fishermen or hunters and we really care about the natural world, to vote for politicians that are interested in making the kind of change that's required.
Stand up for steelhead. Tell Congress to act on climate. Sign the petition at coldwaters.org.
Yeah!